Welcome back to Taking the Green Flag. I'm James with Level 1 Motorsports. Glad to have you back here. This week is going to be a little bit of tough love. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be a little bit of tough love. I get emails all the time from some of you guys out there that say, you know, I used to race with Kyle Larson. I used to race with Christopher Bell. You know, I used to race with Eric Jones, whoever. Okay, well, if you used to race with them, why aren't you racing with them now? You know, and the most and the biggest response that I get is, well, I never got my break. You know, I never got my shot. And man, when I hear that, I immediately just go into pissed off mode, because when I hear that, that tells me two things. Three things actually. One, you didn't have the talent they had. Two, you were lazy. Or three, you're just misinformed. And I choose to think that most of you guys are just misinformed on how a lot of this stuff works. You know, if you're sitting there waiting on somebody to hand you something, especially in this business, you know, you're going to be waiting forever. This is a tough business. You've got to go out there and get it for yourself, and make things happen. You know, I don't care what the media said. Man, the media is the biggest. It's the best thing with this business and the worst thing with this business. You know, the media they want to portray a fairy tale story. You know, this guy came from nowhere and he got picked up by whoever, you know, Penske, Hendrick, you know. He's the fairy tale story. And that's exactly what it is. It's a fairy tale. The reality of it is, you got to make your own moves. You got to position yourself to be able to take advantage of these situations as they pop up. You know, most of the guys that get picked up at that, let's take and I don't really even know his story completely, but I bet you I can put it together. Let's take Alex Bowman. You know, he got in the 88 car, but he got in the 88 car because of, well, he worked for Hendrick, but because of what he had done in running the Xfinity stuff and running the ARCA stuff, you know, on down the line. Not because, you know, somebody saw him and he was discovered. You know, he just, you know, he kept working and digging and put himself in these situations. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm talking to all you late model guys, modified guys, you know, sprint car guys, kind of the mid-level racing guys that have kind of already established themselves. You know, if you've been running, you know, a pavement late model for 5 or 6 years, and you truly want to move up and be able to do this as a profession, as a living. If this is your hobby, then what we're talking about today doesn't pertain to you. But if you truly want to move up and make this your profession, and you've been running your pavement late model or whatever for 5 or 6 years, it's like, man, what are you doing? Well, I can't find the sponsors to go do, you know, an ARCA deal. I can't find the sponsors to go do a truck deal. Well, number one, you know, there's never been a time where there's been more resources available on marketing and sponsorship, basically for free. If you've got internet, you can find a lot of that stuff. But let's just say, you know, that you have been beating the doors down and, you know, you hadn't drummed up too much stuff. Well, here's the reality of it, guys. And I talk to you guys all the time, by the way. There's not a demographic in racing that does not contact me at some point or another and want to talk about moving up and being able to do this as a profession. So let's say you got you're running your late model stock deal. For you guys that don't know, late model stock cars are kind of a big thing here on the East Coast. Well, dude, this is what I would say. I'd park that bitch for a second. No, actually, if it was me, this is what I would do. You know, I would sell that thing. I would sell everything I have related to late model racing. I would take the money that I typically spend over a season. And I've heard it, man, you know, we really don't spend that much money. You know, bullshit, man. Tell that to somebody that doesn't field one of these things every week. I know what it costs to field a late model every week. Whether you realize it or not, you're probably spending $1,000 to $1,500 a week running that car. And let's say you do that for 20 races. It's probably more than 20 races. But let's say you do that for 20 races. So let's just see what that comes up to times 20 equals. That's $30,000. Now, you may be like, damn, do we really spend $30,000? Yes, you really spend $30,000 a year racing. I promise you, if you sit down and you add, and I'm not talking about, okay, we buy 3 pit passes and we buy 10 gallons of fuel and tires. No, I'm talking about every nut, bolt, maintenance, you know, the beer and pizza you buy your buddies for helping. If you add everything up, I guarantee you it's somewhere around that range, somewhere around $30,000 for a season to field a late model stock car. Okay, I would take that $30,000. I would sell absolutely everything. Actually, I'd sell it all. I'd sell the truck, the trailer, the tools, the late model, the whatever. But, you know, if you want to leave yourself a little something to fall back on, I'd sell the car. If you got any extra rear ends laying around, I mean, everything. I would sell everything. And let's just say, you know, just for cheapiness sake, let's say that gives you have a fire sale. So let's say, I don't know, that gives you another $12,000. Okay, so that gives you 42 grand, somewhere thereabouts. I would take that 42 grand and I would parlay that into either a couple of ARCA starts, maybe 3 with the right deal, or a truck series start or 2. That might be a little bit harder to do because that's not a ton of money on the truck side, but not impossible. The biggest thing with the truck side is the approval process. You'll probably be on short track status for a while, whereas on the ARCA side, you know, you can get on a speedway pretty quick. You know, if you've got the background that most pavement late model guys have, you'll probably be able to get on a 1.5 mile track your second start, and that's the important part, is to get on the speedway as quickly as possible. So that's what I would do. You know, you're going to get more out of, let's call it 2. Worst case scenario, let's call it 2 mid-pack ARCA starts. That probably the second start you're going to be on a 1.5 mile track if you strategize it just right. You're going to get more out of those 2 starts than you could run in a whole nother year of your little late model deal. Those races are on TV. They don't have the greatest TV package, but they do have a TV package. They race at speedways that people have actually heard of. Guys run those cars. You can parlay the whole deal. Oh, hey, this is where, you know, whoever came from, Kyle Busch, name somebody, whoever. Everybody's went through ARC at one point or another. You know, so you can parlay that. And here's the thing: if you know, okay, we have the funding to do these 2 races. So if you know for a fact you're doing those 2 races, then you can parlay that into little small sponsorships for that particular area. Like, let's say you're going to run Chicago. Then you can go in there, and it's going to be little deals, but you can go in there and you can parlay little deals that are in, you know, the Chicago area to where those companies will actually get some kind of benefit of doing a sponsorship deal. And sometime here coming soon, where we're doing an actual video on this, some cost breakdowns and some you know, what this cost and what you could do with this amount of money. We're going to go over that here in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to bring Kyle Dagger in. He's actually about to graduate college for sports management, so he can put some of the data, some of the scientific data behind my real world stuff and kind of make it make sense for you guys. So I really hope you tune in for that. But that's what I would do. I mean, man, if you're just doing the same thing every week, waiting for somebody to come along, give you a handout, but man, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, get rid of this stuff. stack as much paper as you can, as much money as you can, and go out and find the best deal that you can put together. It's not going to be a great deal. If you got 30 or 40 grand for an ARCA deal, it's not going to be a great deal. First of all, put that out of your mind. You're not going to get in a front-running ARCA car for that kind of money. I can promise you those deals are somewhere around $2 million a season, 100 grand a race. But that's not what you're worried about right now. You're worried about getting those starts. That's the deal. And if you do have that $2 million for a season, thank you for listening. But I really don't know why you're listening, because you're not the guy that we're actually targeting. But thank you if you're out there, and also call me. I can probably help you spend that $2 million. And that leads me to another thing, guys. You're gonna have guys at your local track. You're gonna have people in your family. Oh man, the odds of you making it, you can't make that. That's for rich guys. Blah 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 blah. Look, man, have you ever seen a successful skeptic? Think about it. Have you ever seen a successful person that said, "Yeah, I made it. This is all bullshit"? No. Skeptics are forevermore, broke, unsuccessful, could-have-beens, whatever. They're probably somebody that wasn't smart enough to make it happen. Then there's going to be people, and I know, and I already get a little bit of this. Look, I already get a little bit. Man, you just want guys to come and run your deal, James. We know what the deal. Look, yes, I would love to help you guys out with running your deals. But at the end of the day, the stuff we talk about here, it's, whether it's my deal or somebody else's deal, you need to make these things happen. If you want to do it with us, great. If you don't, that's okay. Because here's the reality of it. I'm trying to help you guys make it as far as being able to do this as a profession. I've already made it. I'm racing for a living. As a matter of fact, and I'm going to say this, I want you guys to really let this sink in for a second, because this may or may not make sense. I've already made enough money in racing now that I don't have to race. Let that sink in. For the longest time, I was like you guys. Man, I just want to be able to make enough money to live on racing. And I was able to do that, fortunately. Well, now, we've had enough success, and we built our business and our program, to the point to where now I can go and branch out into other things, other business opportunities. And so now I'm still making enough money to race for a living, but I don't have to race for a living, if that makes sense. And that's kind of that's what I want to get for you guys. I want you guys to get to the point where you can make enough money to do this stuff for a living, and then also get to the point of where, if it's an opportunity you don't particularly like, you can turn it down. You can pass on it. You can make more strategic moves. You don't have to grab the first things that come along. So I think that'll do it for today. I hope all that made sense to you. Be sure to check out our deal here every Monday. I'm going to try really hard to put one out every Monday. And hopefully, hopefully you can you pull something out of this and be able to move forward in your career, or start. Here's the thing, man. Just start making forward progress, even if it's little bitty moves. It's forward progress. There's something you can do today to help you on that journey. Even if you're sitting there with zero money, with zero contacts, with zero, I don't really know how to do this. There's something you can do today that will at least be forward progress towards that goal. So figure out what that is and make it happen. Thanks for joining us, guys. This is James, and you just took the green flag.